Hello friends, it's Malphasar here, and today we're finally dropping our Grizzly Rage Shred Druid guide, so don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more build guides down the road. But here it is, the Grizzly Rage Shred Druid. Let's look at it together. Alright, so first we're going to cover the gear we're using on our Druid here. For our helmet, we're running the Aspect Vigorous, which gives us the flat damage reduction while we're shapeshifted as a werewolf. And the stats we want here are max life, armor, and resist. And if our armor or resist is fine, replacing that with willpower is acceptable. For the runes I'm running on here, I am running a Tam Ohm. This will give us the War Cry, which is just an additional multiplier of damage on us here. Next, for our chest piece, we're running the Mad Wolf's Glee. Here, you want a GA generally on max life, most importantly. Otherwise, getting a GA on werewolf attack speed or lupine ferocity is also all right here, and you always generally want that max 7 ranks to all werewolf skills here. For the gems here, you're going to want to run the sapphires just for the flat willpower. For our gloves, we are using the Rampaging Werebeast aspect, which gives us a crit damage multiplier and increases the Grizzly Rage duration. Here, you're going to want willpower, max life, and plus shred skills or core skills to give us some more damage for shred. For the offensive tempering, we want the werewolf attack speed, and then again, impairment reduction to make it so we can break CC much easier. For our pants, we're running the Aspect Dark Howl that turns Debilitating Roar into a werewolf skill. That's the only reason, because when we go into Grizzly Rage, we'll use that Debilitating Roar to get the damage multiplier from it. On the pants, similar to the helmet, you want to run max life, armor, and shadow resist, and if you don't need the resistance or armor, you can flip that for willpower as needed. Again, we want the percent total armor increase to make sure we hit the cap for Torment 4. And then, like I said, I really like the impairment reduction to reduce the amount of CC on us. For the runes on here, we're running Moni Zan. This is just another way to get overpowered very quickly. Almost every second, we're going to get an overpower critical hit shot. But with the way the build works, we're always critting, which we'll go over shortly. For the boots, we're using the Agile Wolf aspect. Gives us the 4th attack with a 60% damage multiplier. On our boots, we want max life, movement speed, and resistances if we need it. And if you don't need the movement speed or resistance, rolling for willpower is more than acceptable. For our mobility skill, either flat movement speed or grade gait are acceptable here. And then again, more impairment reduction on the boots. For our weapon, we want to run the Waxing Gibbous, because this is how we're going to get 100% crit chance throughout the entire fights throughout the game. We want a GA on shred, but a GA on critical strike damage is all right as well. And then we want a high amount of time of critical strikes after breaking stealth. For our amulet, we are running Stormclaw here for the extra 120% damage as lightning in an AoE. On here, we want willpower, max life, and envenom ideally, but attack speed also works here. And then you're going to temper on resistances if you need some additional resistances. And then we also want the offensive werewolf attack speed so we can attack as fast as possible. For our first ring, we want to run the Blurred Beast. On here, we want willpower, max life, and at least one of the rings to have a lucky hit chance to make enemies vulnerable for 2 seconds. And then on here, we want the werewolf attack speed for tempering and the Grizzly Rage cooldown reduction or resource generation. Similarly, for the other ring, max life, willpower, and either overpower or crit damage would all be good here, as long as one of them has the chance to make vulnerable. And then, like I said, resource generation or Grizzly Rage cooldown for your resource tempering, and then werewolf attack speed for your offensive tempering. And then for the last aspect, we want the unsatiated for the flat damage multiplier while we're above 30 spirit. And lastly, for our totem, here we want to run willpower, max life, and damage percent with a tempering for the werewolf attack speed and a chance to deal double damage with shred. And for the aspect, we want to run direwolf, so that way when we're in a grizzly rage, we are in a werewolf form and using werewolf skills. For your jewelry, just one thing I missed here, you want to make sure you're running gems just to fill out your resistances. And then on your weapons, you want to make sure you're running the crit damage gems here to get the most damage out of the build here. All right, we almost forgot to add this into the video, so this is being added a little bit later. We took the armor off our druid so it's easier to see, but this is the skill tree we're running with our shred druid. We are running Maul in 1 point here just so we can get to our core tree, where we're running 5 points shred, taking enhanced shred and primal shred, and 3 points into digigrade gate, while taking the Heart of the Wild 1 point and 3 points into Wild Impulse. In our defensive tree, we are taking Ancestral Fortitude 3 points, Vigilance 3 points for some defenses, Backlash for some extra damage multiplier whenever we use our Blood Howl or Debilitating Roar. We are putting 5 points into Blood Howl, taking the Enhanced Blood Howl to the Innate Blood Howl to get the 25% damage increase while in werewolf form. 5 points into Debilitating Roar, going to the Innate Debilitating Roar so we can get the 15% damage while it is active. In the companion tree, we are only taking Feral Aptitude so we can get the bonus 18% damage while we're healthy and our movement speed's above 100, which is easy to achieve. In our Wrath tree, we're putting 1 point into Neurotoxin, 3 into Toxic Claw, 3 into Envenom. We could potentially change this into something else, but I haven't decided yet. In the Ultimate tree, we are taking 3 points into Defensive Posture, 2 points into Nature's Resolve, 3 points into Unrestrained. This just gives us some bonuses for our Fortify, which also generates us Barrier. We're doing 3 points into Quick Shift because we get the stacks up for that, so we can get that 18% multiplier to damage. And the same for Heightened Sense. Just we use the Maul to turn this on, and we get the 9% damage reduction and 9% movement speed. We're going 5 points into Grizzly Rage, which is a werewolf move thanks to Direwolf, and taking all 3 points here. And ending it on the key passive, Lupine Ferocity, so whenever we crit, which is every time, we do bonus multiplicative damage. For our boss powers, we want to run Grigor's Lightning as our main boss power, because whenever we cast our core skill, which is Shred, which is constantly getting casted, we're going to summon these lightning bolts to do damage. And this is where we get our 100% crit chance with the Waxing Gibbous. Belial's Modifier. Activating your main boss power grants you stealth for 2 seconds. You deal 30% increased overpower damage while stealthed. So what happens here is this will actually trigger our stealth and allow us to get the unlimited. It also stacks with the Waxing Gibbous, so we get that crit chance 100% every time we use our core ability. So we are just forever breaking stealth and getting that max speed. And we also will occasionally get that 30% multiplier to overpower damage. Next, we're running the Harbinger of Hatred Volley for the modifier. This will just give us a way to get another 30% multiplier while our enemies are vulnerable. And then lastly, for some survivability, we're running the Blackmailer Sabotage, which whenever we fortify, which is a lot, will give us 30% as barrier. For our spirit boons, on the Deer Spirit, we're going to run Wariness for the damage reduction against elites and bosses. For the Eagle, we're running the max life and crit damage multiplier. For the Wolf, we are running Bolster, so whenever we use our Blood Howl or Debilitating Roar, we fortify, which also gives us barrier thanks to the boss power. And for our Snake, we're taking Masochistic as it will give us a chance to heal 10% of our life on critical strikes, and we're always critical striking, so we're always having that chance to heal 10% of our max life. For our Paragon boards, I'm going to just do a very quick overview for this. There will be more information on this in the build planner that I will give to you guys in the description down below. So for the starting board, we're just running our Outmatch glyph. For the second board, we're running Heightened Malice with the Spirit glyph. For the third board, we're running our Dominate glyph, and this will be the Inner Beast board. For the fourth board, we are running Ancestral Guidance with the Fang and Claw glyph. And lastly, our final board is Lust for Carnage with the Headhunter glyph. For our mercenaries, we're running Variana, and we are taking Bloodthirst and Bloodlust for additional attack speed. And for our reinforcement, we're running Rayhair, and we're getting Bastion to save us when we become injured. And there you have it. That is our Grizzly Rage Shred Druid. We've pushed it to pit 70. That seems to be the limit with the gear we have now. We just need to do some more masterworking, as well as push the build kind of to its limits, leveling up our glyphs. So we'll see how far we can push it. I find the build's very fun. It's able to do the Torment 4 bosses. It's able to do Hell Tides. It's able to do Infernal Hordes with no issues. So I hope you enjoyed the build guide, and we'll catch you next time. And we're live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So have a good one, everyone, and catch you next time.